Dry grass is the fuel source for many wildfires, and wildfires that start along roads, train tracks, power lines, pipelines, and other open spaces of land can be tough to control and devastating to communities and infrastructure. For the past several years, FP Innovations, Alberta Innovates Technology Futures, and Alberta Environment and Sustainable Resource Development have been working on a research project to determine what kind of vegetation or grasses may be more fire resistant than others, and to answer the question about what to plant that could help protect values at risk from wildfire. The research began with the idea that seeding less flammable species along Alberta's more than 1 million kilometres of industry right-of-way could reduce the chances of wildfire and increase the chances of preserving values at risk if a wildfire did ignite. Here's the story of the case study.
Fires can easily ignite and spread in cured grasses. Cured grasses are dying or drying grasses that respond quickly to changes in atmospheric moisture. Once ignited, grass fires respond rapidly to changes in wind direction and speed, making them unpredictable and dangerous. Alberta has over 1 million kilometres of industry right-of-ways, most of which have been colonized by a variety of grass species. Over the past several years, Alberta has experienced a large number of challenging wildfires where cured grasses within hydro and railroad right-of-ways was a contributing factor. In 2005, FP Innovations launched a multi-year study to determine whether a less flammable herbaceous species could replace the flammable grasses that typically colonize industry right-of-ways.
In the final study, we settled on 3 species but have shown promise in slowing down the spread of fire. These species are Rocky Mountain fescue, common yarrow, and white clover. Many of the species are not commercially available. We at Alberta Innovates have been working with seed growers and seed companies in order to make plant species available for end users, such as in this case, in the Fire Study project.
8 years of research has taken place along with Alberta Innovates Technology Futures to test plants that can be planted around values of risk that reduce the consequences of wildfire. The project began with a literature review to identify potential species for testing. 7 species were selected, seeds collected, and then planted in Vegreville, working with Alberta Innovates Technology Futures. Small individual plots of each species were established, and these were divided into 1 meter squares. Species were tested for biomass, percent green, ignition probability, and fire behavior. Following 3 years of work, 3 species were selected for further testing in an uncontrolled environment where competition from other vegetation would occur. These were used for ignition tests in the spring, summer, and fall of 2006, 2007, and 2008, with 1 plot burned in each season of each year. An additional small plot was retained for destructive sampling to determine the fuel load and the degree of curing.
What began as an idea that certain species would be more fire resistant than others was proven correct. The case study showed that white clover, Rocky Mountain fescue, and common yarrow are indeed more resistant to fire than other native grasses. But why does this matter? It matters because when you're making a FireSmart plan, recommending a grass mix for a restoration project, planning a new subdivision or community, consulting with industry, or even planning your own yard or acreage, you can choose to plant grasses that will increase your chances of surviving a wildfire. Who knows? You might save someone's life. You might save money on insurance. You may avoid closing a highway or a camp because of smoke. What you will definitely do is give firefighters a better chance to fight that fire. Planting fire-resistant grasses means potentially fewer fires and slower burning, less intensive fires. This means more time for firefighters to respond and move equipment into place, improving the chance of extinguishing that wildfire before it becomes a bigger problem. For more information on our case study, the recommended seed mixture, or to find out which species suit your specific need, please contact us. We'd love to help. Thanks for doing your part to prevent wildfire.